Dieu Tout-Puissant!
Madame de Polignac.
It's dreadful, Aegis. All is lost.
How were you able to leave Saint-Cloud?
Earlier, after you ventured out into the palace grounds, all of the machines that were guarding us set out after you. I seized the opportunity to go to the stables and jump into a horseless carriage.
What are you doing here, Madame?
The children, Aegis. Charlotte and the Dauphin. The Queen and the Marquis de Lafayette did everything they could do to save them from the King's madness. They spent days working out every detail of this operation with the greatest secrecy. The preparations for departure with our accomplices in the Queen's house. The children's escape hidden inside this wagon. Our meeting here, in this very place. Then our departure with the riders who were to ensure our safe passage all the way to Austria. They would have been safe there with their uncle, the Emperor. But you can see for yourself. The children are nowhere to be seen. Poor Monsieur Cléry. He was the Dauphin's valet. The poor soul gave his life to protect the little ones.
Madame. With a rooster embroidered on it. A list of staging posts between Paris and Liège. 100 leagues. That is a long way. Why go on such a journey? Perhaps Madame de Polignac can enlighten me. Four horses for 3 men. This doesn't make sense. Madame, the attackers all bear the same red cap with an embroidered rooster.
It's the symbol worn by those who support the Duc d'Orléans.
One of them had a map indicating all the staging posts from here to the Principality of Liège.
Liège? That rabble-ridden city is where the Duke and his miscreants have established their base.
Over here, there are 4 dead horses, and the body of a 3rd man wearing a red cap.
4 horses for 3 men. That means one assailant managed to get away. It's beyond doubt. The Duke's men have taken the children. They're the ones behind this ambush. And they knew every detail of our plans. We were betrayed.
But surely the ambush did not go exactly as planned. 3 of them lost their lives.
That's true. If only we could catch the one who was able to escape. But now that I think about it, the riders that the Marquis de Lafayette promised us, if they made it here, they may have been able to surprise the kidnappers and stop them from carrying out their misdeed. By the grace of God, they may already be on their way to Vienna with the children.
The riders did not make it, Madame. They perished at the hands of the royal army.
Sainte Mère de Dieu. C'est une catastrophe. The Marquis de Lafayette must be informed of this terrible turn of events. Without delay.
I shall see to it, Madame. As for you, please return. You have taken enough risks as it is.
Find the children, Aegis.
Monsieur Necker.
Madame? Eh bien, do you come?
Your wife. You may rest easy, monsieur. Your wife escaped the massacre. She returned home and left you this letter.
Mon Dieu. She's going to meet our daughter and son-in-law.
She may already be there.
Madame, I did not. My wife and daughter. Can you? The three of us will be able to leave the kingdom and put these horrors behind us forever.
What about the bonds?
They are not in your possession.
No, not yet.
You must ensure they do not benefit the king, madame. You will find them in the Armoire de Fer, in the Palais des Tuileries. Do with them as you see fit, as long as the king does not use them. As for me, I'm going to find my family at once. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I pray that your... Adieu, madame. Adieu.
Minister Necker has given his bonds to me.
That's quite a nice little sum. Can you imagine? That's 1/5 of the kingdom's entire wealth.
Wealth that the king squanders for his personal benefit according to his whims.
Ma foi. Monsieur Necker certainly has been very generous to his adoptive country.
Generous? I have my doubts. The loan was granted at a very high rate. So high, in fact, that it would have dug the deficit into an even deeper state of abyss.
Eh bien, monsieur. To what use shall we employ this boonful fortune?
If I could spend it, I'd do everything I could to return to the people their confiscated freedom. To begin, I would get them the bread they so sorely need. It is only after the scourge of famine has been vanquished that armed patriots might then be able to rise up against despotism.
And where will you find wheat, Robespierre? Will you steal it from under the noses of the automats who have... As for arming the people, this is another... How could your ragged pack of wretches win any sort of battle that be
When you insult the people, you insult me, Monsieur de la...
I am not insulting anyone, Robespierre. Monsieur, I was but a lad of 15 when I took... And everyone here knows my role in the liberation of America. If you allow me to dispose of these bonds, I will found an army that will annihilate the... As soon as I have the opportunity to leave Paris, I will rally the officers and troops that are... Then, I will call for a mass uprising. I will have more than enough money to pay their wages and procure...
And you will have obedient troops at your beck and call, ready to repress anyone who challenges your power.
These troops will only serve the will of the people. I swear it.
Are you sure that the king has spared the rest of the kingdom, Monsieur le Marquis?
I am almost certain of it, mon père. Despite all of his resources, the king does not have enough manpower.
Aegis, no member of this assembly can force your hand. The choice is yours. To whom will you entrust Monsieur Necker's bonds?
The bonds are not yet in my possession.
Then please continue your search.
Monsieur Bailly.
I am very pleased to find you here.
I found a document written in a script.
Let me see. Je vois. These pages are a variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I want to use it myself from time.
What does it say?
It's a bit je crois. The author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
Goodbye, Monsieur. Monsieur Lavoisier.
Madame, you're my... I don't know anything about you, or what... But I owe you my life.
What is prussic acid?
It's a volatile compound extracted from Prussian blue, which is a pigment derived from the cochineal, an insect.
What does it do?
Oh, it's a lethal poison. Though at weaker doses, it merely induces a deep soporific state, or a coma, if you will.
A deadly poison.
Aegis, is everything all right?
How do you intend to counter the king's actions?
Unfortunately, we don't have the upper hand. For now, we can only... I am convinced that something is afoot. Something that could destroy...
You have my full attention.
You should know that I am a gunpowder commissioner. As such, I oversee the provision of gunpowder to the kingdom's arsenals. L'Arsenal for the past 2 days, a large quantity of gunpowder from Marsanji has been sitting near Les Invalides. It's in a warehouse by the factories. But the men I sent to take possession of the cargo and transport it to the Arsenal have gone missing. Do you realize what this means?
The gunpowder could have fallen into our enemy's hands.
It's possible. One thing is certain. It's in whether it is still in the warehouse or has fallen into the wrong hand. Then, if possible...
How?
Simply by placing it in contact with water. Nothing could be easier in theory, but...
Flood the gunpowder. We're in the most desperate of situations, and you want to deprive us of such a valuable resource. What will our cannons use once we have formed our army of patriots?
Your army, Marquis, is presently but a figment of your imagination.
I see. So you're one of those men who would sound the retreat before the battle has even begun.
I will go to the warehouse. Once I have located the powder, I will decide what to do with it. Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier. Monsieur de Mirabeau.
Have your efforts paid off?
Minister Necker claims that you are a familiar face at the...
That old story. Will it have... This, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor that I am... To what do I owe the displeasure of having to...
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored...
What lock could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. After all, a lock is nothing more than nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be... Oh, there's Monsieur Lavouette. I'm sure he'll have no trouble finding you something you can use to blow the door off.
Good. I will go and find him.
Now, if you'll forgive me, I have an urgent matter.
You are forgiven.
In that case, it has been a...
Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you?
I would like to access the contents of it. Dare I ask for your help, monsieur?
And how can I be...
I need gunpowder to break through the...
Gunpowder? But I don't... Do you think I just walk around with explosives in my pocket?
Oh. I apologize.
Mirabeau? What is this ridiculous... Where is the animal? So we can ask him...
He has left. He hadn't...
Eh bien. If I could inspect the safe and determine what metal was used in it, but given the circumstances,
I understand. I did not find the where...
Vraiment? It's near Les Invalides, not far from Monsieur de Vaux.
Goodbye.
How was your search of the...
I found this penknife there. I saw Mademoiselle de Vaucanson running. This letter refers to a hiding place where she often sought...
I know the place. One day, Eugène and I were walking in the Luxembourg Gardens when suddenly Athenai's jump was a startling, almost frightening. The spot is on the edge of the garden, hidden by vegetation between two statues.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is supposed to... Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask you.
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant. I know my way around lenses, filters, but I've never given a moment's thought to how a... God, Monsieur de Mirabeau, où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might...
He has left.
Excuse me? Do you mean he left the... That's madness. What was so important that he would...
Intriguing.
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau?
Artanius' hiding place. A fight took place here. Franciscus Antonius. What unusual names. Whose cane could this be? Perhaps the guests at the Cordelier can enlighten me. My respects, Monseigneur.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon, Aegis. We missed you when we had to leave our shelter at Place Saint-Méry. The path that led us to this convent was not an easy one.
Do the four names Franciscus and... Go on.
Franciscus Assisiensis, the founder of the order. I'm sorry, Aegis, but that's...
Did you go to the Hotel de Massiac?
No, not yet.
Remember, it's by Les Halles, just...
I found a cane inscribed with the name Francis. Does that mean anything to you?
No, I'm sorry.
Aegis, I'd like to... Do you have a few moments to spare?
Certainly, mon père.
I've carefully collected the testament, but then I compared them with the observations made during my investigation. I came to quite the shocking conclusion. I believe I have discovered how the royal autumn, like clocks that never need winding, they get their energy from the souls. They drink from the anima essence that permeates the purgatory described by these machines feed on the dead. The greater the massacre, the...
Is there any way to stop the bloodshed?
I believe there is always hope, as long as I remain free to pursue my research. I keep thinking about the three Nemes, these echoes, all...
The alchemist?
Precisely, mon ami. And this leads me to fear the...
What have we to fear from an alchemist who died nearly 4 centuries ago?
Not him, per se. Rather the heretic who is exploiting his discoveries.
What do you fear, mon...
What do I fear? Nearly 2 months ago, the king forbade anyone from setting foot inside the Église Saint-Jean. He had the priests forcibly removed. Since then, only our Father in heaven knows what...
Oh dear.
My thoughts exactly, Monseigneur. Legend has it that Flamel was...
What is the lapis philosopher?
The Philosopher's Stone. No one knows its true nature. Or even... All that is known is that it is said to grant untold... Its very existence is questioned, of course. Just imagine what sinister purpose the king and his accomplices might find for it. We must elucidate this matter at any cost.
Where is this tomb?
In the church's crypt. The priests always ensured that it remained undisturbed, despite the mystery surrounding it. But now they're no longer there to protect it. We need to know for certain.
But how? There are automats everywhere.
Aegis,
Oui, mon père.
will you help us get to the bottom of this?
Did you not say that it was impossible to enter the church?
There is perhaps a solution. The penitent's door behind the Châtelet leads to the Quartier de l'Hôtel de Ville. It's only opened on Good Friday, but this year, I had the honor and good fortune to lead the procession. Here is the key.
Franciscus Antonius.
Let's see. Francois... No, that doesn't mean anything to me, I'm afraid. Désolé, ma chère.
Goodbye, mon père. Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening.
I have not yet been able to get hold...
Please.
Monsieur le
I'm listening.
Franciscus Antonius.
Francois Antoine. Hold on. Of course. That's the master arquebusier who killed the beast. The affair took place during the reign of Louis the Beloved. Just a few leagues. I was still a young boy. But I remember it like it caused a stir all over the country.
I doubt that it has anything to do with my case.
I don't know.
Eh bien. Do you come?
No.
I have it on. He's the only person who could show you a way to reach the back.
I found a cane engraved with the name Francisco. Who could it belong to?
Let me think a moment. I know an Antoine Francois. But he is a man of the people and a true patriot. I doubt that he ever sported a cane with his name engraved on it.
Were you present when the...
Oui, madame. I had a front row seat. We laid bare before the king the abject misery of his subjects. It was more... So he had the people's representatives dispersed by... At least we only had to contend with soldiers made of flesh and blood. Positively angelic compared to the machines that have...
Is your plan to arm the populace?
Oh, far from it, madame. Even if they were armed and formed into battalions, the Patriots would not...
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. They are seized by an irrational fear. One so great that those who do not lose consciousness go mad. This makes it impossible to do anything. Any attempt at...
The locations you mentioned share a common feature. A statue holding a lantern.
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear to be depictions of a Vestal Virgin. What...
Une lanterne des morts!
What do you mean, monsieur?
Lanterns of the dead. Ancient stone pillars that are found near some... Our ancestors kept a fire. Today, no one knows what they were used for. A symbol of light triumph. Others claim that human bones, mercury, some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented souls that wandered around the burial grounds.
That makes sense and confirms my observations. I'm now certain that the King's lanterns capture the anima essence of the dead who have been cast into purgatory. And that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion.
Paternoster quies in celis.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, these statues reveal an apparatus that allows...
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing can so much as damage them.
Come now, no metal is indestructible. If we knew what these lanterns were made of, perhaps I could find a way to destroy them.
Take a look at this ledger, Monsieur Lavoisier. It contains a list of metals. I found it by the factories, near Vaucanson's workshop.
Let's see. Steel, molybdenum, very good. Tiens, donc, tungsten and zirconium. This master blacksmith knows his trade. These metals can be used to make the strongest alloy imaginable, as long as you have a fortune to invest.
For that, our clockwork tyrant knows no bounds.
Well, Monsieur Lavoisier, is there any way to break this alloy?
Break it? Certainly not. But mineral acid could change its structure. I would recommend sulfuric acid, or vitriol, if you prefer to use its common name.
Where can I obtain some vitriol?
I had some, but my laboratory at L'Arsenal was... I can't tell you any more than... You should ask my colleague, Monsieur. He uses similar substances in his...
Monsieur Bailly. Does the name...
We scholars have the strange habit. I imagine that we're actually looking for someone named Franck. But no matter how hard, I'm afraid it doesn't ring a...
Monsieur, would you happen to know where I could find some...
Sulfuric acid? Or combined with sea salt and green copperas, we use it to polish the lenses of our telescopes. But I don't know how much we have. You would need to go to the Louvre and take a look at the observatory's storeroom to find out.
If you will allow me to.
Of course, madame. Here is the key.
I have not yet found...
As I said, you will find it in my store.
Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
Where can I obtain...
I had some, but my laboratory at I can't tell you any more. You should ask my colleague. He uses similar substances.
Did the names Franciscus and...
No, nothing really.
Francois...
No, nothing with that. I'm sorry, madame.
Goodbye. Traces of gunpowder. It would appear that Monsieur Lavoisier's gunpowder was taken to the Bastille. Here I am at an impasse. Should I go to the Tuileries to examine the safe? There may be a way to force it open. I can get to the Tuileries Palace via the Louvre. Then I should be able to enter it through the courtyard.